Morning, morning, morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have Janos.
Hello.
And he's an American, well, he's Hawaiian. He's half Hawaiian, half German. Excuse his son talking in the background. And he's going to talk about his experience growing up in Hawaii, being adopted like myself, and just taking it from there. So, great to meet you. Tell us your story. What's your story?
Oh man, so when I was 29, I did a DNA test with the guy who I thought was my dad. Just as, I don't know, I just had this feeling. And he went along with it. And I got the call first, and they said, look, that's not your biological father. And I called him. And yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It changed our relationship in an instant.
Did he know?
No, well, he had an idea. You know, my mom still, to this day, claims it was an immaculate conception.
Oh, wait, your mum's Hawaiian?
No, she's German, and she's like, like, whenever it comes up, she's like, you're a miracle. I know that she went off with this dude. My dad knows that she went off with this dude. But she just claims that nothing happened. But
did you feel angry? Wait a minute, change your relationship with that man. Forget the man.
Yeah.
All right, he's paid a lot of money.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Listen, I got so much. Gee, that's wet, man. Yeah. Oh, tell me, right, how would you feel it when? What was the first thing that came into your mind?
Do you know what? It was weird. I had a sense of relief because I had all these questions like my whole life. As long as I could remember that something didn't feel quite right. And even though I didn't know, I would look at men and I'd wonder, is this my biological dad coming to meet me? And it was just like, it was just instinctual. Yeah.
The ancestors talking to you.
Yeah, it was weird. And so I would just be there and I'd think, oh, that guy kind of looks like me, you know? And we'd have eye contact or something. I'd be like, maybe that's him. But I had no evidence, no proof. And then when I did this test with the dad that I grew up with, I just felt relief, like this vindication that I was right, because I'd brought it up and it had always led to everybody just getting really pissed off. My mom and my dad getting pissed off.
So your adopted dad, your dad that you didn't know wasn't your dad, he's Hawaiian?
No, so he's English. So all I knew...
Of course, but you're tanned, heavily tanned.
I know, I mean...
The weather's not even... That goes without saying, man.
Okay, so like, it was probably not just instinct, because when you looked at a family photo, you know, I looked like I didn't blend in at all. Everybody's white. Most people have blue eyes, blonde hair. And then there's me, you know, with dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes, or whatever.
Just to let you know, the audience, this guy is... tanned. He's kind of got that perfect tan that the white people would like. So, just give you an idea. Okay, so do you still talk to your mum?
Yeah. I still talk to both of them.
Okay.
You know?
So you forgive your mum?
Yeah, for sure.
You're a better man than me. I'll tell you that now.
You know, it's still weird when she brings up the Immaculate Conception stuff. I'm like, oh, come on. Just own it.
You've got very tolerance. You've got tolerance because in my... I don't... Obviously, I've been adopted as well. And my mum came out with some excuse that she was mentally ill, why she didn't feed me and breastfeed me, all this. And that's why they found me half dead on the floor in my own feces as a baby. It's a 6-month-old baby. But I always turned to her and said, well, why didn't you starve yourself as well?
Right.
And she can't answer that to the day. So I'm very... I do things for my birth mum, but it's like, I know what you're about. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
I do think that principle.
But she raised me, you know, she was my... So it's slightly different.
Okay.
Because you were raised by somebody else, and I was raised by my birth mom. It was my dad that was not my biological father as such. Yeah, but he did raise me as well.
He did. And he treated you fair.
This is the thing, like, so I have another brother, so that's his actual son, and they always had a kind of...
connection.
Yeah, that I didn't have. And from when I was probably about 10 or 11... the dad that I grew up with, he just started to get really, just quite angry with me. I think I didn't really understand that anger.
He knew, so he kind of knew in his gut, but he didn't want to. There's a pride. He didn't want to.
Something, you know. I mean, and that's why, like, when I told him, that's why I was saying, like, the relationship changed, because he was always like, there's a harshness in his voice. And the moment I told him that I was not his biological son, our relationship just really improved. Like, his voice changed. Like, it changed on that phone call, because it was always like scolding, pissed off, you're not good enough, what you doing? And all of a sudden it was like he got insecure, like I was gonna dump him, like I was gonna reject him. And it just changed, and from that moment on we had a much better relationship, after the relationship being really difficult for about 20 years. Yeah, in the space of like literally a second, you know, you're not my biological father, and it was different.
How's your relationship with your brother?
He's a difficult character.
Is he jealous?
There is quite a bit of jealousy.
Because you and the father get on really good now.
Yeah.
And so he realised you were good, but he had that issue, and now he's over that issue. So it's all out.
It caused a strain. I mean, to be fair, my brother is difficult, and so...
Are they still married, your parents?
No, so they split up about 10 years ago, in their late 60s, actually.
Oh, so they didn't split up straight away after that?
No.
That's a hard conversation. How do you get into bed with someone that
Oh, man, you know.
To me, that's those kind of things, real domestics.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Do you know what? But
30 years.
So my dad left my mom for a woman about 20 years younger.
Of course, that's the least he's gonna do.
So there's some kind of karma in this situation.
Yeah, I hope your dad's happy.
Me too, man. You know, I want them both to be happy, to be fair.
You're a better man than me.
You know, I love the dad that I grew up with, and my biological dad. So I found my biological dad.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But he was dead by the time that I found him.
That must have been devastating.
You know, I didn't know him. I was.
Yeah, but I was
disappointed.
You've missed, and that's just, your mum could have just said. This is what I'm thinking, because there's so much. Everything rolls back to your mum. I'm not trying to cause hatred here.
No,
I'm just saying. But you think about you missing your real birth father.
Yeah.
My birth father's dead, and I stayed a night with him once in my life.
Right.
And that, I remember the whole night.
How old were you?
I was at 14, about 14, 15. I remember I had all my brothers. My brothers were there, my other sister, and I just remember sitting up just watching him and watching all the others. And there's a bit of jealousy because I was the oldest, so I was put on the side. I couldn't get enough blanket. I was quite cold. But I remember every detail. And I remember all the little lessons he taught me. They didn't teach me much. I remember every moment. So I always saw that there's so much more I could have learned.
Right.
So to have none of that.
Yeah.
And knowing that I could have had some of that.
Yeah.
I would be infuriated. But I understand that I say you're a better person than me in that respect.
I don't know if that's true, but like I found out about my dad. So he had 11 other children.
Okay.
With 9 different women.
Yeah, so he was Papa was a rolling stone.
Yeah, and so I talked to my other half siblings, and literally everyone was like, he was an asshole.
Oh,
You're glad. You should be glad that you didn't have to deal with that shit.
Okay.
You got away. Yeah. And to be fair, like, I've had a pretty good life, man. Like they had to deal with him rejecting them.
Yeah, that's going to be hurtful. Yeah, I see what you mean. The flip side is you've missed a whole heap of pain there.
Yeah, and I'm saying there was tension between the dad that I grew up with and I, but he was still a good dad, especially given that he kind of knew. He did a good job, you know.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking your adopted dad thing. Yeah, he's a great man. He's much better than I as well, in that respect. But yeah, it's just interesting. We've come to the end of the journey. I could chat to you for ages.
Yeah, man.
Straight over. Yeah, I could chat to you for ages. How's your relationship with your birth family now?
Good, you know. I mean, I don't really know them super well, but they're all welcoming. They actually feel like my real family. Mm-hmm. And the other family, they never felt like my real family, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I see you've got your beautiful 3 children that you're loving and looking after.
Yeah, and they're...
So it's all worked out for you.
Yeah, I would say so.
My last question to you is, the world standing in front of you. Instead of the world, all the adopted children of the world, all the foster children of the world are standing in front of you. What's your one sentence of advice for us?
Oh man, that puts me on the spot. I would just accept what has happened, you know? It wasn't to do with anything that you did, you know, that you became a foster child or an adopted child. It's something to do with your parents, and it's not your fault, you know, because I think a lot of the time people carry shame like there was something wrong with them. It was nothing to do with that. It was something to do with the parents at the end of the day.
Well, thanks a lot for that, and we wish you well. We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.